Okay, so what makes a great lesson? So I chose to watch the fourth video, which was actually in regards to a book. It is called Teach Like a Champion by Doug Lemove. I think that's how you say his last name. Yeah, Teach Like a Champion, 49 Techniques that put students on the path to college. So the technique that they were talking about in this particular video, which was a short video, was the 100% technique. The idea is to avoid breaking the thread of instruction when a student is misbehaving. So their idea is that if you interrupt the whole class to correct one student, you're probably going to have more students going off task and thus like into a spiral downward and having, not any behavior you'd like to have in the class. So basically they're correcting behavior using hand gestures and keeping it very, very silent. Was the video worth watching? Yes, because I actually agree with this idea. I find that if you were to correct behavior without embarrassing the student in front of his or her peers, you're probably going to, they're going to keep their respect for you because you're respecting them. So what was the big idea with this clip? Getting everybody's attention in class, correcting behavior without taking other students' attention away from the learning that's happening. Do I agree with some or all of the opinions? Yeah, they talked about correcting with hand gestures instead of verbally, which I liked. They talked about minimal invasive correction, which is basically correcting the student without having really any attention on them. At one point in the video, one of the teachers was snapping her fingers at a student though, and I did not agree with that. I find it very, I don't know, it's just kind of disrespectful. I would never snap my fingers at anybody. Not a student, not anybody. How do they apply to how does this apply to teachers and teaching in general? I think with this particular technique, you're getting students to stay focused and keep the class moving. And that's definitely important to teaching. They need to stay focused. They need to stay motivated. They need to stay interested, and if you're stopping the class to correct students, you're changing the vibe in the classroom. And that's definitely something you don't want to do, especially when you've got everybody kind of on a roll and everybody's paying attention and keeping up with it. Which of the big ideas are important to CTS education? Definitely keeping students interested in what's happening in the classroom. If students aren't interested in what's going on, they're more likely to get off topic. Also, without embarrassing them when you're correcting them in front of their peers, they're definitely going to have respect for you. And if a student respects you, I believe that they in turn don't want to disappoint you. They definitely want to show you that they can do good work. They definitely want to please you if they have respect for you. If you're correcting somebody and embarrassing them in front of the class, they're definitely going to have a bad taste in their mouth with you. And in turn, they're not going to want to do their work and keep you happy as a teacher, I guess. Definitely. I think that it also comes down to if you're building a relationship with a student and you know about them and you've made an effort to get to know them and they know that you actually care about them and about their learning, that if they do misbehave in class, they're more likely to, smarten up and pay attention if all you have to do is kind of give them a look. And I think that respecting the student is first priority in a classroom. I remember being disrespected by some teachers, and to this day, I still feel awful about it. It still bothers me. And so I want them to feel good about coming into my classroom. That's bottom line. Thanks for listening.